So guys, I know that the Tinubu's government will be in shock as Congressman Raymond begins to expose what he saw in Nigeria. We all know that he recently visited Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, and now he has started releasing and exposing to the world what he saw while he was in Nigeria. See what he tweeted just a few hours ago. He said, "While in Benue, I met with thousands of Christians who were driven from their homes and subjected to horrific violence and now live in IDP camps. They told harrowing stories that will remain with me for the rest of my life. One woman was forced to watch as they killed her husband and 5 children. She and her unborn child barely escaped. Another woman's family was murdered in front of her and her baby was ripped from her womb. One man's family was hacked to death in front of his eyes and his arm was permanently mangled. There are more than 600,000 Christians in IDP camps in Benue State alone. These Christians should be able to live in their ancestral homeland without fear of genocidal Fulanis." So guys, this is coming from Raymond, which visited Nigeria. You know that recently he also tweeted that he had a productive moment with the NSA, and the Tinubu's government was happy that Raymond is happy with what he saw on ground, not knowing that Raymond has already tweeted that in coming days he's going to gradually be releasing all he saw while in Nigeria. And that is exactly what Raymond is doing now, exposing what he saw in Nigeria. Now I'm going to allow you to take a look at a video, but before we get into that video, this is Reverend Archie's wife, the reverend that was spied in the hands of the Fulani captors. Fulani terrorist captors. Now they use the man's phone. They've been using the man's phone to make the photos and upload on his Twitter handle. So this is the man and his daughter. Like you can see, this person tweeted and said, "This is the wife and daughter of late Edwin Archie, who was killed in captivity by Fulani terrorists. Please help beg Nigeria government to rescue the old woman and her daughter." So guys, if you can remember, this woman, see how she has transformed in the forest and the hands of the Fulanis. A whole lot is happening. Now, Boko Haram has also released a video where they engaged the Nigerian military. Tinubu is busy to send Nigerian militaries outside the country to Benin Republic. But see the video Boko Haram just released some few hours ago as they engaged the Nigerian military. So guys, this country is gone. And the Tinubu's government does not care. I mean, it does not care. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video just for you to see why the insecurity in Nigeria is not ending anytime soon. They don't want to fight terrorism. The northern leaders, they know what Nigeria is battling, but they don't want to fight terrorism. Now, let me shock you with this headline. It says, Buhari government was unhappy with the killing of Boko Haram leader Shekau. Shekau failed to celebrate victory. Retired General Ali Kefie is revealing that Buhari was not happy when Shekau, the leader of Boko Haram, was killed in Nigeria. So guys, you can see that this thing is more like, it is just the northerners that are allowing this terrorism to continue in Nigeria. If the northern leaders stand up today to say enough of this terrorizing Nigeria, it will stop. Can you imagine that a general, this headline is less than 24 hours ago. So this headline is a latest headline. He's saying that Buhari, this is a general coming out to reveal that he was one of the leaders that was given the tax to buy Shekau. But when Shekau died, Buhari was not happy. Can you imagine? Buhari is one of those people that said any attack on Boko Haram is attack on the north. You can see that the northern leaders know where this insecurity is coming from and they don't want it to end because for them, it is going to help them in their political journey. So many Nigerians have reacted to Raymond's tweet, and here is what this person said. Congressman, thank you for the visit to Nigeria and your engagement with the government officials. However, the regime of Tinubu has no plan whatsoever to use the Nigerian military to end those Islamic terrorists who are committing crimes and genocide against Christians. And this other person said, Fulani Islamic terrorists are using their cattle as a decoy to murder, maim, and wage jihad against Christians. They must be stopped now or they will slaughter every Christian in Nigeria. This other person also reacted and said, both the Nigerian president and vice president have never visited any of the IDP camps scattered across Nigeria, across northern Nigeria. This is to show that they don't care about the ongoing genocide against Christians. It's only Mr. Peter Obi that visited the IDP camps, and this other person here tweeted and said, Raymond, just watch the video below of ISWAP attack on the Nigerian military in Benue State, Nigeria, earlier released today. Please, US should do something very urgent. Nigeria is losing officers to the jihadists. Thank you. So guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. Like I told you guys, Boko Haram, or call it ISWAP, they released this video today showcasing the kind of bomb, I would like to call it bomb, the gunshots that you will hear, so sophisticated. You will know that the Nigerian military is really suffering a lot. So guys, let me allow you to take a look at this video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.
If we're at this point in time in the 80s when the Metisani riot happened, and you read about the prowess of a military general called Muhammadu Buhari that chased these Matisani people into Chad. That was the height of the Nigerian army. But juxtapose that with today, and if they tell you that the national security advisor of a country will be that one giving assurances to families of those that have been kidnapped, that their children will come back home while they have negotiations and romance with this criminal. The first question that you will ask yourself is, what happened to the Nigerian states? The second question you'll ask yourself is, are these the vestiges of a failing state? So my question today is to the security architecture, what happened to Nigeria? Are these the vestiges of a failing state? That we now go to beg to get our people, rather than show military might. If you go back to the Nigerian Constitution, Section 40 of Section 2, about the sole responsibility of government being to provide security for lives and property, there is something we as Nigerians do in exchange for government to do that. We surrender our sovereignty to the government in a bid for the government to protect us. So it's a social contract. If you read Jean-Jacques Rousseau, what do you do for me that will make me do something in return for you? We have surrendered our sovereignty, and we in turn expect the government to protect us. And that's why when we collect salaries and they remove payee taxes from our salaries, we are paying all of these taxes because we expect them to be able to do something in return. But when they now fail in that responsibility, then there's a failure in the social contract. And when there's a failure in the social contracts, people can actually call for the resignation of the president of the country. Because there's a failure in the social contracts. So, whatever it's worth, despite the fact that we can celebrate on behalf of those that have come back home, let's not forget that there's been a failure in the social contract President Tinubu promised us. So it's not amiss when people call for his resignation. And let's stop being sentimental. It's not the end of the world. If we call for President Tinubu's resignation, heaven will not fall. It's for him to double up. Let me quickly quash another lie we tell. And I've been hearing that lie a lot in the security circle. The reason why we don't want to go in there and fight these bandits and recover these people is to avoid collateral damage. It's a lie. I'll remind you, 2020, an American, Walton, was arrested by a bandit group or terrorists, a bunch of terrorists. 6 of them, they took him. The Americans contacted the same Nigerian government. They got intel about where he was. They brought in Naval SEAL into this country, conducted an operation, killed 6 of the terrorists, evacuated the man, took him to the American embassy in Niamey, in Niger, from there en route to America. President Trump went on the air and bragged about it. Our own, we never see the bandits being killed in the rescue. You heard what Professor Bolaji Akinyemi said that day. When we did everything and were ready for the Americans to be able to fight Boko Haram, all of a sudden, as regards the Chibok girls, we saw that the gas mask, terrorists were already wearing them. The gas mask they were supposed to get. So who is doing the infiltration? And this pattern is repetitive. The question is, when next will it happen? And when it happens next, it's still going to be the same modus operandi. The government will never hear that in a rescue operation, they get these people killed. Every effort to get these people killed, they stop it. President Buhari, the first thing he did when he came into power was he stopped that agreement that the Jonathan government had with mercenaries. So you see, while we deceive ourselves with the false illusion that yes, they are back home, what were the terms and conditions? What did we lose? We lost the fear of the state because the state is supposed to have the autonomy of violence. If there's any non-state actors that has more violence than the state, then go back to section 14, section 2. The protection and the security is hampered. then what happens? The state has broken its social contract with the people. And I have a premise to call for the resignation of the president. So I think I've made that point clear. So while we celebrate, yes, but there's also shame. Egmi is coming on us gradually. The second point. Yesterday we have commended the Nigerian military for the work well done. Yeah, we have to save. But Dr. Bati, I don't know if you have the facts. Maybe the president has not transmitted that letter. He needs to transmit to the Senate as regards his activity in Benin Republic.
No, under Section 5, Sub 5, he has 7 days.
7 days, okay.
7 days within which he can transmit the letter.
Okay.
And then the National Assembly is expected to offer its ratification within 14 days.
Okay.
But I've had some bathroom illiterates
Okay.
who do not even understand adjectival law, who cannot interpret the Constitution, saying, oh, the president can do as he wishes. No. The whole idea of that section of the law is to say that the president of Nigeria cannot act arbitrarily.
And unilaterally.
If he goes on limited combat duty, he comes back
and he
to the same National Assembly to offer an explanation and seek ratification.
Very good on that.
But that has not been done yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Coming back to Talon, isn't it a shame? And maybe we'll have to write a note verbal again. Isn't it a shame that in the recognition of the efforts played, Talon is not recognizing us? So the question is, yes, we did it in our own interests. And on that decision, I support President Tinubu. Because we needed to steady the ship. President Tinubu, you have my endorsement on that decision. But the point I will make is come back and do the right thing. I support you 100% on that decision. But it is the shame that Talon is not even respecting us. And I think the most important factor is that let's stop acting as though Talon is a saint. I think we've established that yesterday. Yeah. Because if you want to feel the pulse of the people were already saying yesterday about Talon. Down with Talon. This is a man that has used his high-handedness to disrupt the order of things in this country. So, and last one I was using the word Yahoo African leaders. Anyway, he's leaving next year. His successor will come in. We'll see what the future of Benin Republic will be. As regards Ouattara, I'm sorry, what are we celebrating? It's another day for mourning for Africa. This same Ouattara that we thought was going to be different from the people he fought against. This same Ouattara stopped Tijan Tiam because of the laws of the land as regards nationality, French nationality. But this was the same Ouattara that a lot of people fought and spoke up for when they used that same law against him because his father had links to Burkina Faso. And they were claiming something called Ivoirité. That you have to be a pure line Ivorian on parentage for you to be able to lead Ivory Coast until those laws were reversed. But when it was convenient for Ouattara, he used it. This is the same Ouattara that has stayed on in power because all his possible successors that he could manipulate, one way or the other, they passed. The likes of Hamid Bakayoko, the likes of Boué, and a couple of other people. This was the same Ouattara that because of it, there was a civil war that happened. We called Laurent Gbagbo the enemy then. But now he has gotten to power. What has he done? So, him saying America endorses him. Yes, America will endorse you because they need your stability to be able to perpetrate their influence.
They need your instability.
No, they need your stability. We will bring about some level of stability because at least they know, okay, Ouattara is there for some time. But the question African leaders fail to answer is then what happens to your country after you leave? It goes back to the mentality of the medieval French king that was fond of saying, après moi, le déluge. That after I leave, everything can sink. Because that's the gulf people open up. This same Ouattara that is celebrating, elections over 2,000 people were detained, 11 people were killed. Because he wanted to get over 80% of the votes. Then you put in very watery candidates, like the likes of the wife of Gbagbo, to be able to make yourself look good. So it has just shown with these episodes, both Ivory Coast and Benin Republic, that Africa keeps hovering. And see, when you check the historical antecedent of Africa, this is how Africa has hovered. That's why since 1957, when a couple of African countries started getting independence, to about 1990, Nigeria had, Africa as a continent had well over 100 coups. So if you are to juxtapose that with the population, with the number of countries, before 1990, at least each country had 2 coups, if you were to share coups round. And it's because of this level of sectarism. So we thought in the 70s, the era of Bukasa, the era of Idi Amin Dada was over. The era of Matthew Kirikou was over. We thought the era of Arab Moi was over. But guess what? We have gotten into a new era of dictatorship. We thought Eyadema Nasingbe was over. Now Furo Eyadema has put himself there and his extended power. And this might be the challenge of Africa for the next 20 years. And that's why, despite the fact that Africa is the next frontier in terms of development and everything, the future still looks bleak as long as you have these Yahoo tenants in the seat of power. Africa will not grow when you have people like Ouattara, Talon, and other people that destroy the ethos of what democracy is going to be about.
Mr. Agua, please, how would you assess the level of engagement the clerics and traditional rulers had with Mr. Riley Moore?
Well, thank you very much. I guess it was quite robust because looking at the media reports that we were getting, it was clear that the engagement took them to meet with the clerics, the internally displaced persons, government officials, and other stakeholders. And I think significantly, the essence is to establish is an empirical visit designed to dig into facts. If you recall, what has been going on has been narratives. Narratives in terms of whether there is Christian genocide or no Christian genocide. And I think they are coming is to fact find, get that empirical understanding, talk with the victims, talk with people to be able to make the. So far from the clips we saw in the media, it was quite a robust engagement, even though the participants have not formally officially come out to give us details of what transpired.
Now, Mr. Agua, I hear you use the word fact find, but many will argue that conclusions have already been made. So where do we draw how do we conclude there? What exactly are we concluding? Is this a fact-finding mission, or have conclusions been made? Because he's been very vocal about this, especially on his X handle.
I think if conclusions are drawn, there might not have been any need for them to come. And I think also that even if conclusions have not been drawn, you see, there is something about if I make a statement, if I declare something black or something white, I may still need to prove it, even though I might have built sufficient basis to my conclusions. So I still insist that it was fact-finding, because ultimately you are meeting the people live on ground, no longer people talking to you from WhatsApp or from the social media or in the United States, but you have come to meet the population of concern and government officials more directly. So the issue of whether conclusions have been drawn or not drawn, I don't think is very key. Although for me, I believe significantly they have come to establish one or two facts about whatever conclusions they might have drawn.
So, Mr. Agua, Mr. Moore also pointed out, he described something like a joint task force between Nigeria and the U.S. Are you aware of any long-term strategies regarding this, regarding preventing future attacks and strengthening security in the region?
Well, I think the joint task force is in order, but significantly, if we had these things much, maybe we wouldn't have come. I want to believe it's going to deliver, it's going to work well. But there's a fundamental issue on ground. There is a Christian genocide. Let me talk and be more specific where I'm speaking to you from.
Okay.
I have been in this sector I have been in this space for the last 15 years. I worked with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. I have worked with NGOs, and I can tell you that consistently in the last 10, 15 years or more, there has been Christian genocide. Now, the point is, for people that I interact with, the population of concern, the displaced communities and families that have been affected, the day they are able to get back to the places they were living, their ancestral homes, where they were uprooted, then we will begin to say, oh, there is some bit of, maybe we can even some sign of relief. For now, I think what matters is let justice be. Let people who are sitting on other people's land that have destroyed their places of worship, that have killed them, let there be that demonstrable signal or demonstrable event that these people are going back in their numbers. So you asked about the committee. That looks a very general thing because Nigeria-US committee, you know, if you look at the peculiarities of these situations or this genocide thing, it is quite different in different places. For instance, like in Benue, where I'm talking from, there are no places of worship for these people to go back to. There are no homes for them to go back to. People that came and slaughtered them in the name of Allah, they stay on their lands. So it's the coming of the Americans or the American delegation was what gave a lot of people here hope in the anticipation that we are going to work together with the government, work together either the Nigerian government and the United States government to try to see how, as soon as possible, as soon as practicable, these injustices are no longer there.
Mr. Agwa, there are also claims that these lands are being claimed by these attackers because of mineral resources that these lands might have. From your point of view, do you think that this also has a part to play here in the violence that has run rife through the region?
You know, there's always a destination. If I set out to go to hunt and kill an elephant and bring home, even if I see a grass cutter, even if I see a deer, I will still catch it and bring back home, even though there is an ultimate aim. Yes, nobody is disputing the fact that the people who are occupying these lands and using the resources in these lands, those criminal intentions exist. But there is always an ultimate aim. Because if you look at the trend and what happens here, beyond that, I am uprooted from my ancestral home. I am also made to be in the IDP camp, and the person that killed me and sent me away shouting that he has come to kill me in the name of God. So yes, there could be issues of mineral resources, issues of grass to feed the cattle, so many issues, criminality, all joined. But the bottom line is, if I set out to go and kill you now, and many people are in my way, I will also eliminate them in the course of getting to you. So yes, these factors play. There's climate change, complications and all that. But let no one be deceived. Because if you look at the intent, if you look at the process in the last 10, 15 years, because I'm talking to you as somebody who works in this space, I can tell you sufficiently that there's a calculated ultimate end. Agree that the mineral resources will serve a purpose for now, or maybe permanently for people that have seized these lands. Agree that they may have a lot of land to graze their cattle and all that. But the entire aim, ultimately, if you like, without shine, is ultimately to establish Sharia.
I'm going to see problem. So President Tinubu, Benin Republic, they no cry for you. Benin, they no cry to you. Now just say they want to take over democracy. They want to take over their president. You send army, send troops, send air force, then go there, save them. So our army, then sabi fly, go fight, you understand? Then save them, give them their democracy back. Why Boko Haram, they kill us here? Donald Trump say one help us, because they say, they need to go through protocol, they need to pass this one, they need to give this one time. But these people, they don't even give it time at all. In emergency, you fly people. Nigeria is the most useless country for the whole world. So when I get power to go save another country for democracy, now army to army disembark army, our army them, they show action, they show power, you understand? But ordinary bandit. Make we even leave bandit, kidnappers, when I live for Harris and Ogwachuku. See, this is a proof that Nigeria is a very useless country. Donald Trump saying, "Want help us?" Everybody declare, "Hey, they after our resources." Nigeria, after I go there, I know they after anything. Talk through. President Tinubu, you are not after French girls. You are not going there to collect their girls. That's why I help their president. President Tinubu carry Bible, swear, carry Quran. So I said the reason we make it help in the republic, not because you don't see 3 girls where the eye for that place. Rubbish president. Nigeria is the most useless country for the whole world. Most useless, shame on Nigeria. Psycho, Donald Trump won't come here and save Nigeria. Then they buy Christians, they buy Muslims, they bandits, they destroy. America say they want help. The next thing, everybody they shout, When I say that they come for nothing, they have interest, they cannot do anything for anything. They want to exchange something. It's better to exchange even our president head and give us peace, you understand? But this one, no, Nigeria no get interest now. They go say Benin Republic, no interest. Tinubu, you have an interest in Benin girls. You like women in Benin girls. Now woman will kill you. A show woman. Rubbish. Nigeria, see, seriously, this country no get value. Nigeria, you no get value at all. If you see there for Nigeria, they say, Nigeria will be great again. You go buy nothing, go great. I say, Benin Republic, see, now our president and the tech for doing a very great job for them. To my père de président Tinubu, les pas, la save, la Air Force, la Nigeria, la Army, la Fouille, la Kancha, la Pate, et me le paye, la save. Et où? Seriously, before then they kidnap people. Today they see they carry people for kidnapping. Understand? As in the prison now, nobody to save them. Our Nigerian army, they are very useless. They no get. They need to go be a bandit. Them are bandits and a friend. Understand? Then they follow bandits. They chop you. In fact, the real bandits are the government and the army. I no go lie to now. All of them be bandit together because when you be friend with people, you understand? They negotiate with them. When they enter bush, go do meeting, they discuss price. You understand? All of them are one team. When I be team, all of them are the team up to destroy the innocent Nigerians. I dedicate this on to so that thunder go fire on Nigeria. So I pray, amen.
So guys, many people have been welcoming Raimo's tweet about Nigeria. He has come out to confirm that there is genocide in Nigeria. Congressman Raimo is confirming it after he tweeted and said he heard things that will never leave him, as in things he can never forget all his life. He heard them when he visited Benue camp. So guys, we must say very big kudos to the US for their, the way they planned it, that this man had to come on ground. This one is no more here, see. He went to the IDP camps. He was in Benue. He went to the IDP camps. He sat down with the people. They spoke to him. And I tell you, this was really, really massive. Nigerians are so happy. Mike Almond said, thank God, it looks like he's on the right track. Okay, that's Mike Almond. Let's see how Nigerians are reacting to this, because the Tinubu's government was already happy, and Ojupe was already saying, oh, Raimo hails Tinubu. Now, let's see how Nigerians are reacting to this. Raimo has exposed that there is real genocide in Nigeria. If the U.S. government under President Trump does nothing significant to liberate the Christians in Nigeria, then it's all over, and Islamic will conquer Nigeria in no time, and U.S. will be blamed just as they looked away when Biafra was killed. I think this makes sense, 3.6 million persons were killed, and this other person say he's compromised. I don't trust the people in government in the Benue state, especially the so-called Reverend Father who is the present governor of the state. Nigeria will at the end bribe America just as they did with Finland. I don't think so. And this man said the undisrupted villains of the genocide in the Middle Belt are the Fulanis. Yet the principal actor in the Tinubu's government are the Fulanis. They can't be both villains and solution at the same time. Tinubu has to whittle down their power in his government to fight terrorism. I think this makes sense, Tinubu really had to crush the Fulanis. But if you look at it, the Fulanis are the ones mostly in politics. It's like the Hausas have been chased out of politics. And now this person say he should make sure that place is the real IDP. I don't trust Nigerian government. They can set up replica and tell those that tell them what to say and what not to say. This person said the only thing that can be of save is referendum. This other person say if the sponsors of terrorism are not cleared once and for all, because some may be lying low for now, they will still have capacity to fund future terrorism. It will still be tomorrow's war. People in the IDP must return to their ancestral lands and any stranger in their land uprooted. I think this is just what we want. If America can do this, restore these people back to their homes, give them security, give them all that is needed, intelligence, it will be super. Sir, may God bless you and the Church of America and President Trump for standing for the Church of Christ. Amen. This is our president. God bless the U.S. and the team that visited. We know that the federal government has tried to cover up so much for this team to come to this level of meeting the survivors. Then it's great. At various stages, our government was frustrated fact-finding in this matter. I know that the Tinubu's government will be shocked. I was keen that thinking Nigerian government had given him some dollar to push the narrative, not until the tweet emerges, honestly. Many people thought the same way. For the fact that he visited the internally displaced and heard their heartbreaking stories shows that Raymond knows what he's doing. In the nearest future, he should consider for the position of the Secretary of State. I think he should really consider that because he wants it. And this person make una they play. US, the more you delay, the more people die. Stop negotiating with their sponsors, Nigerian government. And this person say, you are right. This shows that the US concern for Nigerian Christians are genuine. For the delegation to have gone to the scene in the genocidal crime where Tinubu and his government are busy denying, where Tinubu and his government have even refused to go and see people in the IDP camp. Thank you, Mike Armon, for your courage in standing for the truth when it truly matters. But but Governor Ali say no Christian genocide or genocider in Benue. I understand there is saying that when you join APC, there is a saying that when you join APC, your brain stop working. United States has the power to recognize the independence of Biafra. It's a good step to safeguard Nigerian Christians. Evidence is everywhere, just like you found out that what made you believe he will even find was the jihad going on. There's jihad going on in Nigeria. Raymond has no option but to, in good conscience before God and man, do and say things as they are for posterity. The killing and genocide must stop. This person say the current zoo Nigeria government is going to outlive and outwit the current US government. They can manipulate themselves and stay 30 years in power and wait for the current US government to be out of power before unleashing their next wave of terror. It's called Taquia. The US government is going to regret never having done something whilst in power. They never gave up, and this is the right time for the US to act decisively to permanently disrupt them from their Islamization path. Raymond. And this other person is, I know you would want to see Nigeria succeed, and to achieve these great things must be fixed. They are our electoral institution. And our judiciary. Please help fix this and see how 80% of our problem will vanish within days. And this person, thank goodness you are following him up. At some point, something seemed not right on the track he was going. Nigerian government is full of bribery and corruption. And this person here said the first time seeing such delegation that were focused on doing the right thing couldn't be diverted by Nigerian corrupt politicians. God bless Raymond. Now it is time that the US must take action against this terrorist group in Nigeria. So guys, these are Nigerians lamenting and calling on Raymond that it's not enough to discover this they should also take action. Shame to you that it is without your Balaam support. Shame on you that even the sleeping dawn gone are blazing, a blazing gun became futile despite all your funded propaganda. This is how things should be done, not through accused politician, pimp, and machinery like Cash Mike Amon. I don't know why this person is accusing Mike Amon. This other person say, yes, he is because of your work and that of your team. Thank God, thank you, and God bless USA. I'm happy US congressman men came to witness it. And this one, Nigerian government may not allow him to visit those areas affected by terrorists, but I believe he is on the right track. Nigerian government is deceitful and cunning. If the Nigerian government says it's morning, better sleep outside and confirm. Better step outside and confirm. Those people can lie about anything. Thanks, Raimo. And this person say, yeah, we thank God. I was scared at first when he was meeting Nigerian politicians. And this person say, they won't take him to the real victims and their community. APC is a cost to Nigeria. This person say, Sultan of Sokoto and Fulani elites are the leaders of the sponsors of Fulani terrorists. Only Biafra freedom and release of nnamdi Kanu will stop the Fulani jihadist terrorism of Nigeria. Thank you, Raimo, for your righteous effort. So Nigerians are really applauding him for the step he has taken. Raimo, enter where the president could not even enter. Are you sure he weren't taken to IDP camp arranged by government? Government of Islamic can do anything. Our politicians have never visited these IDP camps, honestly. Tinubu has never visited these IDP camps and they keep denying the genocide happening. Nigerian government will still deceive him and finally reports will shock you. Thank you, Sir Mike. Please continue talking. We need action now, not really the talking again. Since he has confirmed, may God richly bless and reward you for standing firmly and uncompromised for justice. You were equally scared like us here. Maybe they deceived him. He should be very careful of those the government will pay to lie against themselves. So guys, these are Nigerians lamenting and also applauding Mike Almond for coming to Nigeria to find out the reality on ground as regards to the genocide happening in Nigeria. Nigerians are saying he did well to have come in person. This one is no more hearsay. This one is no longer Twitter. But come to Nigeria and see things for yourself. And that was exactly what he did. Anyway, guys, there's this guy here who is a core member. Let me read the headline. It says, Fulani militias attacked Taraba community, killed my father, 4 relatives. Grieving NYC member cries out, says headsman, chased all residents, chased all residents, settled down. I don't know what that means, but he's trying to say that he has no father, he has no mother, he has nowhere to run to. And he's asking Nigerians for help. So guys, I don't know what you President Tinubu orders withdrawal of police escort for ministers. He will not fix insecurity. His own is to expose people to more danger. Tinubu fix insecurity. If Nigeria was safe, nobody will be going for all this. So, in other words, there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. So, guys, let me know what you think about what Mike Almond has said about Nigeria. He has confirmed that there is Christian genocide happening in Nigeria. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.